Does your cat dip their paw in the water bowl before they drink? It's not a fun game they invented. They are actually testing the water for hidden threats, because the bowl you provided is sending error messages to their brain. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what your cat is trying to tell you, and the one change that fixes all of it. Chapter 1. The stagnant water threat. Most people see that paw dipping and smile. They think their cat is being quirky, funny, a little dramatic, and they fill the bowl back up and move on. But your cat is not being dramatic. They're running a check that their ancestors ran every single day to survive. Here's the thing almost no one thinks about. In nature, still water is a warning sign. A puddle that isn't moving, isn't flowing, isn't fed by anything. That puddle has things living in it. Bacteria, parasites, waste runoff from animals upstream. Cats in the wild didn't drink from standing pools unless there was no other choice. Their instinct said, moving water is clean water. Still water is a gamble. That instinct didn't disappear when your cat moved into your apartment. Right now, sitting in a bowl on your kitchen floor, there is a perfectly still pool of water. No current, no ripple, no movement at all. And your cat's nervous system is looking at it the same way their great-great-great ancestor looked at a suspicious puddle in the dust. Animal behaviorists who study feline hydration have observed this pattern across domestic cats consistently. The hesitation, the paw test, the cautious lean before drinking. It's not a personality quirk, it's an ancient risk assessment. Still, your cat isn't playing with their water, they're questioning it. And that instinct connects directly to something in Chapter 4, because the paw isn't just testing the water, it's doing something far more specific than you'd expect. But first, there's a second problem with that bowl, one that has nothing to do with movement. Chapter 2. The depth perception glitch. Here's something most cat owners never think about, and once you do, you won't be able to unsee it. Your cat cannot judge the surface of still water the way you can. You look at a bowl, and your brain reads depth, surface, distance instantly. Your cat looks at the same bowl and gets something closer to a visual blank. The water's surface doesn't give their eyes enough contrast to land on. It's transparent, it's flat, and depending on the light in your kitchen, it essentially disappears. So, your cat leans in. They can't tell how far the water is. They're not sure if their face is going to hit a hard surface or fall through into nothing. Every single time. Look at your cat's bowl right now. Is the water level low? Even halfway down? From your cat's point of view, they're being asked to lower their face into a dark container and trust that the water they cannot see is actually there. This is why cats drink with their chin tilted at strange angles. Why they approach the bowl, pull back, try again. It's not indecision. It's a visual system that evolved to track fast-moving prey across open ground, not to measure the surface tension of water in a ceramic bowl. The bowl is failing them, not the other way around. And we'll get to exactly what to use instead. But first, you need to understand what happens when they finally do commit to drinking from a bowl that wasn't designed for them. Before we get there, one quick thing. If this is already making you look at your cat's water differently, a like would mean a lot. It helps other cat owners find this too. Chapter 3. The whisker clearance issue. There's a specific name for what happens next. And when you hear it, the way your cat approaches their bowl will never look the same. It's called whisker fatigue. Your cat's whiskers are not decorative. They are precision sensory instruments, each one connected to a dense cluster of nerve endings at the root. They detect air movement, spatial boundaries, the exact width of a gap before your cat commits their body to passing through it. They are, in a very real sense, your cat's primary way of reading the physical world around them. Now imagine pressing those instruments hard against the inside of a bowl, every single time you need a drink of water. That's what a standard pet bowl does. The diameter of most water bowls sold in pet stores sits somewhere between 10 and 14 centimeters across. Your cat's whisker span is wider than that. So every time they lower their face to drink, their whiskers bend. They compress against ceramic or plastic. The nerve endings at the base register pressure, constant, repetitive pressure on what is essentially an extension of their nervous system. Animal behaviorists who study feline feeding behavior have observed that cats experiencing whisker fatigue will drink less, not because they aren't thirsty, because the act of drinking has become something their body wants to avoid. Your cat isn't being picky, their face hurts. And in Chapter 5, you'll see exactly what to look for and the specific bowl shape that eliminates this entirely. without stressing your cat through any kind of transition. But understanding the pain is only step 1, because here's what your cat figured out entirely on their own. Chapter 4. The Whisker Paw Hack. What you've been calling a quirk? Your cat invented it as a workaround. Think about what the paw dipping actually does. Your cat reaches one paw into the bowl, pulls a small amount of water onto the floor or onto their paw itself, and licks it off. They never lower their face into the bowl at all. Be honest. Have you ever watched this and thought, why won't they just drink normally? There is no normally. There is only what works and what doesn't. And your cat, entirely through trial and error, discovered that their paw clears the bowl's edge without their whiskers touching the sides. They engineered a solution to a problem you didn't know existed. The paw becomes a ladle. The floor becomes the surface they drink from. It's inefficient. It's slow. And it means your cat is almost certainly not drinking enough water across the day. But it's the best option the bowl gave them. This is the moment this entire video has been building toward. The paw dipping isn't quirky. It isn't playful. It's your cat telling you every single day that the bowl you chose is the wrong shape for the face they have. And what you can actually do about this is simpler than you'd think, which is exactly what Chapter 5 covers. So now that you understand why, here's how. Chapter 5, the fountain solution. This next part is why staying mattered, because most advice on this gets it half right, and the half it misses is the part your cat actually cares about. The solution most people land on is a cat water fountain, and that's correct, but not for the reason most people think. People buy fountains because they've heard cats prefer running water. That's true, but it's surface level. The deeper reason a fountain works is that it solves all 3 problems at once: movement, visibility, whisker clearance. Call it the 3-signal fix. A fountain introduces a current. That current catches light, it creates a ripple, a surface your cat's eyes can actually locate and track. The still water problem disappears. The depth perception glitch disappears. And because most cat fountains are wider and shallower than a standard bowl, the whiskers clear the edge entirely. Your cat can drink with their face forward, their whiskers relaxed, their nervous system calm. What to look for specifically? A fountain with a wide, shallow basin, not a tall tower with a narrow pool at the bottom. The water should spill across a flat surface, not pour into a deep cup. When you watch your cat use it for the first time, look for one thing. Do they lower their whole face in without hesitation? That's the signal. That's the moment the bowl stops being an obstacle and starts being something else entirely. And there's one last piece, something about where you put that fountain that works on a level most people never think about. That's what we're ending on. Chapter 6, the location mistake. Remember what I said at the very beginning, that your cat's bowl is sending error messages to their brain? The last one has nothing to do with the bowl itself. It's where you put it. Most cat owners place the water bowl next to the food bowl. It makes sense to us. One corner, one spot, everything together, neat, contained, logical. Your cat's brain reads that arrangement as contamination. In the wild, cats do not drink near their kill. A carcass, even a fresh one, introduces bacteria into the surrounding ground, into the soil, into any water sitting close to it. Cats evolved to source their water away from their food. Separate locations, sometimes by a significant distance. The instinct that kept their ancestors from getting sick off a 3-day-old rabbit is the same instinct that makes your cat walk past the water bowl next to their food dish without stopping. They aren't being difficult. They are following a rule written into them before domestication existed. Vets who study feline hydration patterns observe this consistently. Cats drink more when the water source is in a different room entirely, or at minimum across the room from where they eat. Not adjacent. Separate. The further, the better. So here is the one change. Move the water. Different room if you can. Somewhere quiet, away from the food, away from the litter box. Somewhere your cat already chooses to rest or pass through. Place the fountain there. Let the current run. Let the light catch the surface. And then watch what happens the first time your cat finds it. They won't test it with their paw, they'll just drink. That paw dipping wasn't a game. It was a question your cat has been asking every single day. Is this safe? Can I trust this? You just answered it. And that is the only thing they ever needed from you.